Okay, let's try this again. You should be able to hear me now. Okay, let's try this again. Ah, there we go. You should be able to hear me. Okay, so now that we got the microphone situated, we have to figure out why the camera's a little crooked. I'm going a little early today because there's a queen in the area, and I just saw a quad jet head towards the reef runway, so I wanted to get a little early today. So let's see if we can level that horizon. So that's a little more level there. Okay, let's see how that goes. Good morning, everyone. A little bit hectic here this morning. I didn't want to miss out. They got a queen coming in that looks like it's going to be on 8 left, so I didn't want to miss that. And then we have a quad jet heading out towards the reef runway. It's not on any of the radars, so I have no idea when it's going to go. Oh, well, how about right now? So that was a KC-135. Let's see. We should have a queen in the distance. There it is. This is a UPS queen. We have this Queen coming in, and then we have another cargo coming in right behind it. This one's coming in from Kailua Kona. It's a Northern Air cargo, if I can find it. It's got to be out there somewhere. Ah, there it is. It's way lower than I thought it was already. There we go. Alright, so I'd say good morning to everyone, or good afternoon or good evening, wherever you are. A lot of familiar names in the chat this morning. Got Christine and Colin here. Thanks for being here. Some of our great mods, Kirsten and Ms. Wolves, thank you for being here. It's a little odd day for the stream. We usually don't do Wednesdays, but today is a holiday in the United States, so I am technically off work today. I'm going to do a couple hours later just to catch up on some stuff that got pushed back because of that big project we had last week. So it'll be a half day for me, not too bad. But I figure I'd come out and do a half day of streaming too, so probably going to won't do a full show, a full Saturday show, but we'll do probably till the third ANA plane arrives. That's usually the end of the planes coming in from Asia. Good morning, Richard. Good to see you. So the first two ANAs will be A380s. They're the flying Honu livery. I didn't check what color they are yet today. I was a little... Usually I run through the planes right before we go live. But since we went a little early, I skipped that step today, so I don't know what color they are today. So we'll check that out in just a few minutes. This looks like a Southwest coming in from Kailua Kona again. Kailua Kona is on the west side of the Big Island. So that's probably a 45-minute flight or so. Maybe a little less, depending on traffic. Sometimes they get here very quickly. So there's no rain in the forecast today. That's good. Well, I mean, there's always rain in the forecast in the mountains. Hopefully none of that's supposed to spill down to us today. Good morning, Ringoberto. Mika, good to see you. Thanks for being here. So if you're not from the United States, today is Juneteenth. I think it's the most recently declared federal holiday. It's only a couple of years old, but they've been celebrating Juneteenth in different parts of the country for over 100 years, I believe. I remember growing up and them having Juneteenth celebrations where I grew up. This is Southwest coming in from Hilo. So if you're interested and you don't want to look it up on Wikipedia, Juneteenth is the day that they announced the end of slavery. I believe it was in Port Aransas, Texas. I could be wrong on that, but it was in Texas. They announced that slavery had been abolished. The sad thing about that, it was over a year after the end of the Civil War, so the people didn't know for over a year that it had been abolished. Next one's is a Hawaiian 717. It's coming in from Maui. So if you were tuned into the stream yesterday, I was in a particularly talkative mood and a little chipper. I sounded chipper listening back on it yesterday. I don't know if we're gonna get that same Patrick today. I think I slept wrong. That sounds so old. I feel so old when I say that. I slept wrong. I got a kink in my neck that is driving me insane, and I forgot to grab some Advil on the way out the door this morning. So hopefully I don't sound too cranky today. Oh, got Air Tiki in the house. Hello, non-tan. Good to see you. Got David in the house. Hello, David. So if you're new to the stream, welcome. My name is Patrick. The channel is Reverse Ops. We do 2 shows a week usually. This week we're going to end up doing 3 with yesterday and Saturday. So usually we do 2 shows a week. The Saturday show is the long show. We call that show Super Heavy Saturday. That is we call it that because we get both arrivals and both departures of the A380s. We call today's show the Arrivals Lounge because usually we just see the arrivals of all the planes coming in from Asia. I put out a new schedule for the shows coming up. So we have one more show here from Hawaii on Saturday, and then we'll do 2 road shows at LAX. Gonna spend a week in the desert, so I'm gonna do a couple shows at LAX before heading out to the desert. Pardon me. Ooh, it probably didn't sound real good. I'm sorry about that. Next arrival is another UPS plane. This one, however, will be a 767. It's coming in from Lihue. Nice short flight. So if you are new here, this is Daniel K. Inouye International Airport. It's on the south shore of the island of Oahu, about 4 or 5 miles west of downtown Honolulu. I need to measure that on a map instead of, I keep saying 4 or 5 miles west. I should just measure it so I can give you an exact number. I mean, there's even a fancy measuring tool on Google Maps. So I should just use that, and so I don't have to say "or" every time. So this Southwest we see in the flight, it's not going anywhere. It's the one that just came in from Hilo. It's looping around. I guess it didn't quite have a parking space yet, so it looped around. It's heading back towards the terminal now. Richard, I don't think I lost any sleep over it. It's just when I woke up, it just started to hurt. So luckily I didn't lose sleep over it. If I was up at 3, we might not be here right now. So we had a little rain yesterday with light winds. Today we have no rain, but the winds have picked up a little bit. It's supposed to be 20 to 25 mile an hour constant all day, and that's kind of what it's felt like so far. This is that 7.6 I was telling you about a minute ago. Oh, hello, Sydney. Good to see you. Thanks for stopping by. Sydney's one of our awesome mod team. Need to come up with a name. Maybe I'll let them come up with the name. I think I need to charge the mods with coming up with a name for the group of mods. I know I know there's one channel out there that calls them the Mod Squad. That's kind of super easy. I know Walt out of Dallas, he calls them the Moderation Federation, I think. So maybe we can get the mods to come up with a name for the group. The Motley Mods, maybe. I kind of like that, Motley Mods. I don't know if they'd appreciate that as much as I think it's funny, but. The next one, it'll be another cargo plane. This will be a Aloha Air Cargo coming in from Lihue as well. So with it being a holiday, I don't know how much military action we'll see. We did see that KC-135 to lead off the show, but I don't know if we'll. Usually, federal holidays are not great for military action, especially the jets. We usually don't see the jets on federal holidays, unless it's a federal holiday like Memorial Day or Veterans Day. Not 4th of July. They do flyovers on those days, so we usually see the jets do leave to go do flyovers. They'll usually do a flyover on Memorial Day and Veterans Day. Memorial Day, they usually do it over Punch Bowl. Punch Bowl is it's the National Cemetery of the Pacific, so it's the same type of cemetery as Arlington National Cemetery outside Washington. But it's in a dormant volcano crater. So they usually do a flyover that for Memorial Day. And then they'll do a flyover Pearl Harbor on December 7th. It's at 8:07 in the morning. So I usually don't go watch the flyover, but as soon as they're done with the flyover, they go right over my house. So usually I'll step out in the driveway and watch them leave, or watch them come right over my house. Good morning, Brad. Yeah, Punch Bowl is an amazing place, as Brad said in the chat. It's a remarkably beautiful cemetery. It has almost, I would call, I mean, I'm not a statue expert, but they kind of look very Greek-inspired statue in the center. If you've ever watched the beginning of the Hawaii Five-0 TV show, there's a scene where it focuses in really quickly on a statue. That's actually the statue in Punch Bowl. There's even if you hike, or a hike, it's a walk. It's not really a hike to the top of the crater. There's actually a really nice lookout that looks out over the cemetery, and then if you turn around, it looks out over town, over Honolulu. So it's really nice. If you ever get a chance, if you're ever out here on vacation, make sure you add that to your list. If you're a rum drinker and are familiar with Sailor Jerry rum, the original Sailor Jerry that they named the rum after, his name was Jerry Collins. He was a tattoo artist here in Honolulu. You can actually go get a tattoo. Well, I don't know if you still can. About a couple years ago, there was still a tattoo shop where his tattoo shop used to be. But you can get a tattoo there. Well, he was a Navy vet, and he is buried in Punch Bowl. So you can go find his grave if you're a devout rum fan. There's some really interesting stories. Usually, whenever you hear, every once in a while you hear on the news about remains being identified and brought back to their family from World War II in the Pacific. They all come out of Punchbowl. All the unidentified remains were buried in Punchbowl. And I don't know what year, but several years ago, they started a project to identify all those names. So it was when the DNA technology became available, they started taking those remains and trying to identify them. And they actually have a office, a lab on Pearl Harbor. Is it on Pearl Harbor or Hickam? Anyway, it's on Joint Base Pearl Harbor, Hickam, where they do all that testing and to try to identify any remains that were still either found. Sometimes they'll find remains, and sometimes they have the remains here already, and they'll identify them and bring them, try to reacquaint them with, well, I guess reacquaint them is a weird word, but give them back to the family so the family can bury them. So I have a couple of flights heading out to the reef runway. The first one is a Delta. It's a 321. It's heading off to LAX. Right behind it, it's a Southwest. It's heading off to Las Vegas. Those are both very close to the end of the runway. Trying to scroll out to see the A380s, see where they're at. First A380s running very close to on time, so 8:16 arrival. And the second one running a little early, so 9:09 arrival. The first one will be the orange one today, and the second one will be the blue one. A couple of FedEx planes lit up on the cargo ramp. And then we have another FedEx 777 that's about probably 20 minutes out. It's a little, maybe half an hour out. One of them is supposed to be the 50th FedEx 777, according to Jet Tip. So I think that Delta's about ready to go. So we're going to flip over here and wait for it. Okay, just when I thought it was moving, it's not moving yet. Hello, Rainbow Love. Good to see you. Yeah, Craig. I think it was yesterday. I can't remember if it was yesterday or Saturday's show. I was talking about the heat in Texas. I don't see how I lived through that. It just seemed like nothing back then when I was a kid. Now it gets over 90 and I'm freaking out. Okay, the Delta is finally moving. Think. Yeah, there we go. So it should be showing up in the middle of these trees very soon. So this Alaska is heading off to Seattle. Boy, if you would have told me at the start of the show we'd have Ed Asner and Ernest Borgnine talk, I would have been really surprised. So if you'll notice, we have some construction equipment around here. So here, there it is, blocking some of our taxiing view of that plane right there. That is the United heading out, most likely the reef runway. That looks like a 757, so that'll probably go to the reef runway. We've had a couple of those come on 8 left, but not very many of them. And then we have some more construction equipment over here somewhere. There we go. Every time I say excavator or backhoe, I get in troubles. So I'm not even going to say what it is anymore. But they are currently doing construction on 4 left. So 4 left is completely closed. We had 4 right completely closed for about 8 weeks or so. They're finished with that. They've opened that back up, and then they immediately closed 4 left. So the 4 left is the shortest runway here. Generally used for GA and small commercial aviation. So they've had to move that around a little bit, so it won't affect our show too much. We might get a few more landings on 4 right now that it's open. So they, in the article I read about the closures, the spokesman for the airport said that there'll be more closures after 4 left is reopened again, but he did not elaborate. So if you know the history out here, you've known 8 left was closed for 10 months or so, a year maybe, and they just did 4 right, and now they're doing 4 left. So that really only leaves 1 left. So if he's insinuating that there's going to be another runway closure, and they close the reef runway, that would be very interesting. Okay, Ron, it's a deal. I'll just call them Earth Movers. Yeah, so David, it's not just the runways. Yeah, they are doing the taxiways as well. We had a interesting one a couple weeks ago where they closed a couple of the taxiways on 8 left that they would normally use to cross 8 left to get to the reef runway. So they this taxiway at the end here, which is Juliet, and there's another taxiway at Echo, which is about halfway up this way. They were using those to cross 8 left and make it out to the reef runway. Those were closed one Friday, and they were funneling all the commercial aviation out to the reef runway via the cargo ramp. I wish I could have been streaming that day. I was sitting at work watching it on Flight Radar, being very jealous of the people out here. Maddie M, if you mean letting you know where the plane's going, is that am I following you correctly? What the plane is, where it's going? I try to do that, but honestly, sometimes I just forget. And sometimes I'll do them in a bunch. So I'll do, if there's 4 planes taxiing, I'll list them all off in a row, and then when they're actually leaving, I don't mention it again. It's just my scattered brain. And sometimes it's easier to do them in a bunch because being a one-man band, it's kind of hard sometimes to keep an eye on clicking on different planes on Flight Radar as you're trying to pan and follow the plane. So So I usually don't do the flight time. I usually give the location and the location they're going or coming from, and the type of aircraft. So I'll say like United 757 heading off to San Francisco. I rarely give the flight number, and I rarely give the flight time. It's something I can work on, I guess, but it's just I wouldn't hold your breath, honestly, because I don't want to sound like I'm complaining, but there's like I'm trying to watch like 4 or 5 different screens at the same time. I got 4 screens in front of me that I'm trying to follow, and sometimes I just get left off. And like I said, sometimes I'll bunch them all together. If there's 4 or 5 planes taxiing out, I might list all 4 of them at the same time and then not say anything when they're leaving. So sometimes we'll get a person in the chat that will list them off, but there's not a regular person who does that. Like this one, for instance, it's heading off to Lehui. It's a 717. Yeah, I've never been a very good multitasker. So that's, in fact, when I first started this channel and first started doing live streams, I didn't say anything. I tried to emulate the Japanese streamers and I didn't say anything. I would just use a picture-in-picture window to put up the flight radar window. And then I found out pretty quickly that it was faster just to say stuff than try to type it in the chat. So the next one out on the reef runway is that United 757 that we talked about a few minutes ago that was taxiing. It's heading off to San Francisco. It's currently holding for a plane flying over its runway, landing on 4 right. It's a smaller commuter plane. So it should be on the move any second now. Thank you very much, Maddie. I appreciate that. Jesus. I was intently staring at the screen viewfinder, waiting for that 757 to cut through it, and it completely overflew the viewfinder. So, David, I have heard rumors over the last couple of years. I think the first rumor they had was they were going to replace them with 220s, I think. And then 319s, and then once Alaska got in the mix, everyone said they're going to replace them with the 737s. I don't think there's anything definite, especially now with Alaska being in the mix. I don't think there's anything definite. But I really wouldn't expect anything till at least 2010. And maybe the way planes are being delayed nowadays, it might even be longer than that. So. So this Hawaiian here that's currently weaving out of my screen is heading off to LAX. It's a 330. There's a wing of a Northern Air cargo, I think, right in the picture there. Oh, it's over here somewhere. There's one over there that's lit up that's heading off to Maui. And then we have another Maui bound southwest at the end of the runway. There we go. Well, that one might be coming down 8 left. There's a little 2 taxiways at the end of the runway there, if you're looking on flight radar. One of them is kind of a 45-degree angle, and one of them is a 90-degree angle. Most of the time, if they hit that 90-degree angle, they're coming down 8 left. If they do the 45-degree cutover, that means they're going all the way out to the reef runway. Sometimes the Hawaiian 717s have a mind of their own, and they just do whatever the heck they want. This southwest is coming in from Maui. So you'll notice a big theme. If you're new to the channel, there's a big theme. Like most of the planes here, you can pretty much, especially these Southwest and a Hawaiian 717s, there's a very good shot. If you say they're going to Maui, there's probably a pretty good shot they are actually going to Maui. Maui is the second highest passenger destination from this airport. The first, let's see if we can guess the first. What's the first? Anybody in the chat know the first, the highest passenger destination from Daniel K. Inouye Airport? I should have asked it backwards, but I didn't. The second is Maui, OGG. Oh, so we have, oh, interesting. This will be good. So, oh, shoot, what do I show you? No, okay, we'll show you this. This is a FedEx 777. So I mentioned having 4 right would be open again would be good sometimes. So this is going to be a FedEx 777 coming in on 4 right. So we're going to lose this for a couple seconds behind some hangars when it actually touches down. But the good thing is it's going to taxi all the way right in front of us. So like I said, we're going to lose it for a couple seconds. We'll pick it up over here. Yeah, there it is. So this will come down all the way down 4 right, and we'll end up right in front of us. So I'd like to thank Marcy M. Says, thanks for the great streams. Keep up the good work. Well, thank you for being here, and thank you for the $20 super chat. I really appreciate it. It does go a long way to help the channel. The 777 is waiting for that 717 to land before it crosses 8 left. So the 717, like I said, is coming in from Maui. It's this one right here. So now that it's stopped, the FedEx should be able to get on the move. And then we have the Southwest at the other end. It'll come out onto the 8 left, should be. It's also going off to Maui. See that in the background there. So if you notice this this X here in the screen, there, try to keep it in the screen for a minute so you can see it, that X there, that signifies a closed runway. So that's a sign. So if an airplane's coming that direction, you can see the X and notice that the runway is closed. So, but you'll notice that a plane is using the runway the other direction. Well, because of the construction and the 4 left crosses this runway, it is closed for arrivals. So 26 right is closed for arrivals. But it's open the other direction for arrivals and departures. That would really only come into effect, that runway being closed for arrivals, if the wind changed directions. So if the wind started coming from the west and they flipped the runways around into my favorite time, reverse ops, then they would, that's the only time they ever use that runway for arrivals anyway. This is Northern Air Cargo. It's heading off to Maui as well. Thanks again, Marcy. I really appreciate it. Alright, so the next arrival is an Aloha Air Cargo. So Aloha Air Cargo, even though it's named Aloha Air Cargo, it's actually operated by Northern Air Cargo. So again, it's coming in from Maui, so there's a Hawaiian in the background there. That is again heading off to Maui. So we had a bunch of planes going by, so I don't know if I saw any answers to my trivia question. Ah, I see a couple. Robert Jamond. I hope I said that correctly. Jamond. Yeah, I hope I said that correctly. Yeah. Correct. You are both correct. The highest passenger volume out of Daniel K. Inouye Airport is to LAX. And it's followed up surprisingly closely by Maui. There's a lot of flights to Maui every day from here. So while we got a half second here, I'll show you something real quick, little self-promo here. So I have, many of you know, I have launched a merch shop, the Reverse Op Shop. T-shirts, hats, hoodies, things like that. Right now we're doing a promo, $5 off T-shirts if you use the promo code SPAM. So if you buy one T-shirt, that's $5 off. If you buy 100 T-shirts, that's $500 off. So think just today, you could save $500 by shopping at Reverse Op Shop. Think of the savings. So we have popular shirts like the ones in the picture there. We also have the new shirt, the Mai Tai Hang 10 approved. So Mai Tai is the call sign for the F-22 stationed here. Hang 10 approved means unrestricted climb. We also have the new women's cut shirt, the Hawaii Plane Spotter women's cut shirt. Or you can see my favorite shirt in the picture there, the one on the left, where it says Super Heavies, Raptors, Pualani, and Pop-Tarts. I call that the My Favorite Things shirt. But now through Saturday morning before the next show, $5 off any T-shirt. Thank you for listening to my shameless self-promotion. Oh, I knew it was out there somewhere. Of course I'm French. How do you think I have this outrageous accent? Well, thanks for stopping by, Maddie M. Good luck on the job applications. Oh, Raymond, nice. I hope you get out there to do some spotting. I've been to Manchester Airport a couple times. Get some great locations there. I don't see this flight on flight radar, but I think I know what it is. I think it's a United flight heading off. They call it it's an island hopper. It's heading off to Majuro, and then I believe it's going to go to Kwajalein, and then Chuuk, and then finally stopping in Guam. Oh, it just popped up. Let's see if I'm right. Ah, I'm right. Look at that. Something about a blind squirrel in the winter or something. I don't know. So that's actually a stutter there. That's actually a very interesting flight because it's going to places that generally don't have the facilities to handle repairing a 737. It takes its own. It has an extra pilot. It has a crewman, a mechanic, and extra parts on board just in case. And I've been told, but not confirmed, that when it stops in Kwajalein, they make you roll all the windows up and they won't let you look outside unless you're getting off the plane in Kwajalein. There's an episode of, if you're familiar with the show Expedition Unknown with Josh Gates, he does a episode where he's looking for downed American torpedo bombers from World War II in Chuuk, and he flies out there on that flight from here in Hawaii. So he spends a good couple minutes talking about it. It's very interesting if you want to look it up. The whole episode is really good, but if you just want to see that 5 minutes or so on that flight, it's pretty good. We have a 717 at the end of the runway. It's heading off to Kailua Kona. Should be right there. That United hasn't quite made it to the end of the runway yet, but it's almost there. Yeah, Robert, I've talking to some people out here, I've heard some weird stories about Kwajalein. As you can see in the shot here, it's getting a little bouncy. The wind is starting to pick up a little more. So I usually have trailer jacks. If you ever owned an RV or a trailer, when you park them, you put jacks under them so they stay level. I had a pair of those to keep the back of the truck from bouncing around when I move or the wind shakes the truck. Unfortunately, yesterday, one of them broke, so it's not working as well as it has been. So that's another thing I have to put on the rebuy list. That guy went up right over my head. In that shot, you might have seen my, there's a 717 coming in on the crossing runway. There it is. You might have seen my sun cover. I have a sun cover on the back of the truck. It's, the sun can get very tough out here, so I have to keep that. And unfortunately, when it gets a little windy, that sun cover kind of acts like a giant sail. But without it, I would not be able to stay out here past about 11 a.m. It gets really bad about 11 a.m. with the sun directly overhead. I don't know if I'm going to make it all the way to 11 today, but I put it up just in case. We're eyeing the third ANA of the day as our last plane. The first ANA will be the orange flying Honu livery. It's about 15 minutes out or so. Okay, that United has disappeared off my flight radar again. So, did I miss it, or did it just disappear? No, now it's back. They're playing tricks on me. Okay. Next arrival on 8 left will be coming in from Tokyo. It's a Hawaiian A330. I know some of my mods love the A330, so this will be just for them. Good morning, Wanderlust. Good to see you. So we're going to come away from this one a minute. That United is just getting off the ground. United's been doing some interesting things with their routes over in Asia. They're going to start up a Guam to Tokyo route, I believe. And I've heard rumors of some others, but no confirmation. So I have left my water inside the truck cab. So while we're waiting on the A380, it's still about 10 minutes out. Well, maybe a little further than that. About 10 minutes out. I'm going to grab the water out of the truck. I'll be right back. Talk amongst yourselves. All right, thanks for that, everybody. Much better now. This Hawaiian here is coming in from Lehue. Hui is on the island of Kauai. Good morning, Lady Cat. Good to see you. So that there, it's kind of hard to tell with the heat haze down there, but that looks like an A400. On my little screen, it's hard to tell, but that looks like an A400. Ah, yes. Confirmation in the chat. All right, and the next one out on 8 left will be a Southwest heading off to Phoenix. That A400 should go all the way out to the reef runway. We wouldn't, there's no way we're going to get lucky enough where it's going to go off on 8 left. The United we saw behind that A400 is a 757 heading off to LAX. The Hawaiian behind it is heading off to Maui. Next arrival, though, will be a 717 coming in from Hilo. Hilo is on the east side of the Big Island. Where the camera's in. I don't know where I put the camera on that. Okay, let's see if we can find that one coming in from Hilo. There it is. Get a wide shot on that for a second. So this one coming in from Hilo, and then behind it will be the first A380 of the day. It's the All Nippon Airways flying Honu livery. Honu is Hawaiian for sea turtle. It is just passing, about to head over Eva Beach, so it should be here in just a minute. The A400 is making the turn on the end of the reef runway, so hopefully that will go before the A380 gets here so we can see them both. Okay, oh good, it looks like the A400 is on the move. So let's flip over this way and go a little bit wide because the prop planes generally get up very quickly. There we go. Alright, so now we're going to swing around and catch the A380 arrival. As you can see by the plane, the wind has picked up a little bit. Oh, thank you very much, James. I appreciate that. We got a A330 heading off to Vegas out on the reef runway. So as soon as this one gets stopped, we'll flip over and catch that one. I'm gonna flip over and catch that 330 if I can find it in the sky. There it is, hiding behind the pole. So that's the first of two A380s we'll get today. Last I checked on the other one, it was about 9:05. Let's scroll out a little here. $9:14 now. So the Southwest that's taxiing through that shot is not showing up on my flight radar yet. Oh, there it is. Looks like it's heading off to San Jose. There's another Southwest about to leave on the reef runway. It's heading off to San Diego. As soon as that one starts to move, we'll flip over there and catch that one. So Air Tiki, the 787s are most likely over the Pacific Ocean somewhere on their way in from Phoenix and LA. I forget, they changed the time. When they added the second one, they changed the time, and I haven't committed the new time to memory yet. I thought it was like 11:15 the first one showed up. Let's see if we can figure out where those are for you. So the one from Phoenix should be here at 11:28. The one from LA will be here at 12:30. I don't anticipate being here for both of them. Maybe the first one, we'll have to see. Because just depends on how we're all feeling. I had planned to stay until the third A380 flight of the day. Or no, sorry, I apologize about that. Not third A. Jeez. Till the third ANA flight of the day. So we'll see. Looks like Jetstar is about to push back, heading back to Sydney. That third ANA flight of the day will be here about 10 a.m. Yeah. So we'll, so I'm not sure if we'll get the Dreamliners in today's show. We'll just have to see how we're feeling later on in the show. How hot it gets and how hungry I get. Oh, this is the, see, this is the thing about on coming to the airport on weird days. Not weird days. Wednesday is not any weirder than any other day, I guess. On days I don't usually come here. Usually I'm here on Mondays and Saturdays in the morning. So some flights I don't usually see. For instance, yesterday we saw the All Blacks livery 787 come in. That's a Tuesday flight. We do. Whoa! What's this here? Where did that guy come from? Another one that wasn't on my flight radar is being a little funky today. This one was not on flight radar. So we'll have to see where it is where it's going in a second. Now it's on flight radar. My internet must be funky on the tablet today. That one's heading off to Hilo. Anyway, I don't remember what I was saying. Something about Air New Zealand. Oh yeah, so usually there's flights that don't come in every day. Like for instance, Air New Zealand only comes in a couple times a week, so we usually don't see it on Mondays and Saturdays. So we saw it yesterday. And then this, we usually see Jetstar to Sydney on Saturdays. but we don't see Jetstar to Melbourne. So that's the one that's pushing back right now. This Southwest is heading off to San Jose. There's nothing in front of that heading out to the reef runway, so we'll catch that one in just a few minutes. Oh. The wind is, if you watch this, the wind is really fluctuating on the which way it's coming from. So right there now, that is almost due east, or from the east. It was northeast this morning, so it's all over the place. Nice. We have a Hawaiian leaving on 8 left. That's going to have to get out of here pretty quickly because it's got another Hawaiian behind it. So we'll flip over and get that with the ramp truck in the front. This one's heading off to Kailua Kona. Well, the good thing is my neck is feeling better. If you were here at the beginning of the show, I was talking about my neck being all crinked. I slept on it wrong. So the good news is that's feeling better. Oh, I think we had a wind accident over here. I think the had a cargo container flop off the transport vehicle, the trailer. There we go. Luckily, it looks like it's empty. The guy's moving it around pretty good. Taking that high G turn over there. Yeah. So a lot of the cargo is off to our left. So FedEx, UPS, Asia Pacific is all over to our left, and then some of the cargo, the customer facing side is all to our right. So that's why these cargo are going back and forth. They're also taking them from airline to airline. So if you hear the jingling, rattling noise all day during the stream, that's what it is. It's these guys going across, back and forth. So this one here, Southwest 1826, it's heading off to Kailua Kona. Looks like it's going to head all the way down. So we will try to catch that one as it gets out of here, if I don't get distracted. So if you haven't had a chance and you're enjoying the stream, I would really appreciate it if you could like the stream. It really does help the channel a lot. A couple hundred of us in here right now, and looks like we're just past 174 likes. So if we can get that up over 200, that'd be really great. Next arrival on 8 left will be another Southwest. It's about a minute out. It's coming in from Maui. Behind that we have another Hawaiian A330. It's coming in from Tokyo. So it doesn't seem like the constant wind has picked up at all. But the gusts have definitely picked up. This Hawaiian coming in from Tokyo. So I want to welcome Mike Smith to the 321 mainland traveler level. Enjoy all the comfort of the 321 as he zips between exotic destinations like Long Beach and Oakland. The good news is the seats do recline in economy in the 321. And you still get your POG drink. So welcome, Mike. Thank you very much for joining. So in the background we got Jetstar. This is the one heading back to Melbourne. So Terry, I don't know the exact numbers. I've talked to a few people who said they're between 80 and 90% full. One of those people was telling me that the upper class, first business classes are doing very well. It's the empty seats are in economy, but I don't have any official numbers. That's just what I was told. This is Southwest coming in from Lihue. Thanks again, Mike. Welcome to the Reverse Ops Ohana. Besides the wind, this has been a very pleasant day out here. It's nice and cool today. Google is telling me it's currently 80 degrees. I have a hard time believing that. It's nice. Jetstar is at the end of Juliet, so it should be turning on to 8 right in just a second. We also have the first of our 2 DHL 777s. It is currently over Waimanalo, which is on the windward side of the island. The second A380 of the day is just north of the island of Kauai, so it's getting very close. So now would be a great time to hit that like button and share the stream with your fellow super heavy enthusiasts. So I don't want to miss that Jetstar, so let's make sure. Oh, as I say that, I need to mount a camera at the other end of the Lagoon Drive so I can get a live feed of the other end of the runway. That would be awesome. Oh, I'm gonna sneeze. We almost had a Monty Python moment in the back of the truck there. Oh, geez, I'm all over the place. Sorry about this. I sneezed, and I stepped backwards as I sneezed, and I'm standing on a piece of wood in the back of the pickup truck. If you ever stood in the back of the pickup truck, you know it has little ridges in the back, so it makes it very uncomfortable to stand on. So I put a piece of wood over the ridges. So I stepped off the edge of it, twisted my ankle, which now really hurts. And to keep from falling, I grabbed my antenna mast, and it moved, and I wasn't planning on it to move. So I almost took a tumble. But now my ankle hurts. See, they didn't tell you being a plane spotter live stream would be dangerous. Thanks, Rich. I appreciate it. Alright, so DHL is currently on the downwind. Should get a southwest from Hilo in front of it. Still waiting for all these planes on the cargo ramp to... Well, now they've all turned off. I don't know what's going on over there. Yeah, I would have been really embarrassed if I got taken out by a sneeze. That's almost as bad as sleeping on your neck wrong like I did today. Old people, I feel like it's really old. I get taken out by a sneeze and I sleep on my neck wrong. Next thing you know, I'll be yelling at kids to get off my lawn. So the mural on this building, there's two of them. There's one on each side. The whale murals, they're painted by Weiland. If you've ever heard of Weiland, he's very famous for his whale paintings. I don't remember his first name. Weiland. Anyway, there's one on each side. So this side is kind of a daylight scene. The other side is whales at sunset. And if you're driving down H1 eastbound on the viaduct, the other side of the painting lines up with well, lines up with the horizon in the distance, where it has Diamond Head, and they almost line up exactly if you're driving down the viaduct. Thanks, Brandon. I need to make that my tagline. Stay for the suffering. So that building is, I believe it's called Airport Center. Hawaiian Airlines used to own that building. They sold it, I guess, around 2019 maybe. It used to be part of their headquarters. They sold it and moved elsewhere. So I thought that would be a great place to do a stream from. I looked into it. But unfortunately, unless you're on the roof, which they weren't very receptive to that idea. Yeah, the parking garage top is right there, and it gets blocked. Most of the airfield gets blocked by these tanks right here. So it's not a great place for a live stream. I wonder if you probably get some, if you're a still photographer. Don't tell them I sent you. Don't want to get anybody in trouble. So I don't know if I said it or not, but this one's coming in from Hilo. We have another Southwest heading off to Oakland that is just off the ground on the reef runway. Next arrival is the first of the two DHL Singapore Airlines 777s. The A380 is now halfway between Kauai and Oahu, about 15 minutes out. The second one of these 777s is about the same distance out, maybe a little further, 20 minutes or so. Okay, Rainbow Love, I will ignore them all. So has anybody in the chat ever been up to Victorville or the Mojave Spaceport to see some of the planes and retired planes in storage out there? I was thinking about going up there. Like I said, we're going out to the desert in a couple of weeks, so I was thinking about making a quick trip to one of those two, depending on how much time we have. Google Maps doesn't seem like doesn't seem like you can get real close. But some of the spotters guides say you can get really close, but I'm trying to figure out what's the real story before driving all the way out there in the heat. I think one of them, I have to do my research a little better. I've kind of been slacking. One of them, I think, has the China Southern A380s are out there. I think that's Victorville. Victorville. I hope I'm probably not even saying that name right. I've never seen that A380, so I was gonna go out there and see. Yeah, Aratiki, I don't think I'm going to make it as far as Tucson. We're going out near Vegas. So we're going to fly into LAX, meet up with some friends, and head out kind of near Vegas. Now, if you're asking, a very good question is if you're going by near Vegas, why aren't you flying into Vegas? Well, because it's going to be the first week of July, and I want to do a show, and I'm not doing a show from Vegas in July. That doesn't sound like a smart idea. So I'm going to do a show from LA. That way we can meet up with our friends in LA and go out there together. So it's kind of a long way to get to one place, but so this is the only Singapore we get here. Well, I mean, there's two of them. One will be here in just a few minutes. We don't get any regular Singapore Airlines flights here, which I'm a little surprised about. I thought they would bring something here, but I guess they know their clientele better than I do. We did have a Singapore A350 get diverted here last year. That was kind of special. It was one of those diversions that's like you get like 4 hours notice or 5 hours notice, because it was over the North Pacific, kind of up by the Aleutian Islands. And I think the final destination was LAX, and I think it was like 4 hours to here, but still like 7 hours to LA, so they brought it here. As a Hawaiian, looks like they're gonna push it all the way down to the reef runway. It's heading off to Kailua Kona. There's a Hawaiian coming from Hilo. So that is, this one is the one they're gonna push all the way down to the reef runway. And then we have one coming in from Kailua Kona that is just at the border of being able to get a good shot of. See, now the heat haze is getting a little bad. It's not as bad as yesterday. Yesterday was real bad. The heat index must have been crazy. This one here in our picture now is heading off to Hilo. Keeping an eye on that one making its way down to the reef runway. It is not quite there yet. Yeah, if I Air Tiki, if I worked close to this runway, I would never get anything done. I work just far enough away where it's convenient to get here, but you really can't see anything from my work. Occasionally, from the roof, I've got some good shots when Air Force One has been here, the times I've seen it leave, it leaves off of 8 left. They don't take it all the way down to the reef runway. It leaves off 8 left, so it comes right over town, basically. And so you can get some good shots in town. And then occasionally they'll, and during reverse ops, we'll get some planes coming in to land over towns. But usually my work is not the best. So the next flight in is the A380. Our second one of today. This is, I believe, the blue one today. So come on here, see if we can get a better shot of it. There we go. A little fuzzy with the heat haze, but better a fuzzy turtle than no turtle. Fuzzy turtle, I like that. It sounds like a cheap drink or a nasty insult. Hello, Super 80. Good to see you. Thanks for coming by. So we wait for him to turn. We're going to head over here and catch this 321 arrival. It's a Hawaiian coming in from San Jose. Nice. The turtle is turning, so we get a better shot of him. Next arrival is coming in from Osaka. It's another Hawaiian 330. Pick that up here in just a second. Back out a little, see if we can get rid of this wind shake. Alright, so the next departure on the reef runway will be a UPS 747. It has just made the zigzag turn at the end of the cargo ramp. It's currently waiting for a FedEx Cessna Caravan to cross over the taxiway, and then it'll head out towards 8 right. We'll catch its departure. I thought there was another one. Yes, there's another one pushed back as well, because if any of you are familiar with the show, we have what we call the tail count for the UPS planes. So usually right over in here we can see the tails of the UPS 747 sticking over the building. So it's really easy for those ones. It's really easy to see when they push back. I don't have to check on flight radar. I just glance over there every once in a while and count the number of tails. There was 2 there about 15 minutes ago. Then there was 1, and now there's none. So there's 2 heading off to the cargo ramp. 1 has just pushed back. The other one is on taxiway Romeo right now. So we get 2 747 departures here in just the next couple minutes. It's a little harder to see the, I can't see the UPS ones here, so I have a tendency to completely miss those, as many of you are probably aware. This right here is the second DHL Singapore 777 of the day. So it'll come and taxi right over. It'll come and taxi right over to the next to the other one. We'll get a nice banana split going. Oh, I don't do the ladders anymore, Brandon. The first couple months of this show was on a ladder with like a 7-foot tripod. I've had enough of those days. I would. What would be awesome, and if I had a place to park it, would be even better, is one of the food service trucks. I'm sure you're all familiar with those. They have a scissor lift on the back end, and they raise the whole back end up to be level with the door of the airplane. So I could just park it here and scissor it up 15-20 feet. I don't know if I'd want to be on it in this wind, though.
Do you have a channel?
Yeah, reverse ops.
Reverse ops?
Yeah. All right, thanks. I don't know if I'd want to be up on that in this wind, though. It might get a little bouncy. I wouldn't want to get seasick in the middle of a stream. So next arrival is another Northern Air cargo. It should be somewhere. Oh, there it is. It's coming in from Maui. Behind that, we have a Japan Airlines coming in from Tokyo. Oops. Okay, let's see where that. I don't want to miss that queen. Let's make sure we. The queen should. It's on the runway now. The other one's in the zigzag of the cargo ramp. So we're gonna skip the Japan Airlines and come over here to. So. I saw some chats in the mod chat, so let the mods know that the plan is to go through the third ANA of the day, which is about half an hour out. The only plane I see after that is a possibility of staying for is the Korean Air 777. Korean Air 777 is currently an hour and 10 minutes away. I think it's an hour and 10 minutes away. Oh, an hour and 20 minutes away. So there's an outside chance we stay for the Korean, but that just really depends on how the traffic is between the ANA and the thing. So if the mods have to, I know it's not a relatively short notice on this stream, and if the mods need to bail, I completely understand. If all the mods leave and the chat gets unruly, I'll just ban everyone. I'm kidding, I won't ban everyone. Or will I? Oh. Looks like we have a British C-17 lit up on the Hickam ramp. That should be it right there. So, I wonder if that one... Does anybody, like, super nerdy know about a lot of things? I know I know a little bit about a lot of things. I'm really bad with knowing a lot about a certain thing. Does anyone know if the C-17s for the British Royal Air Force, if they have a tea kettle and the American ones don't? I'd be very interested to know that. Because I'm 99% positive some of the older British planes had tea kettles in them. So there's that British C-17 in the background. Hi, the UPS Queen that's out on the reef runway is just waiting for a FedEx plane on the crossing runway. And then it should go. And then right after it should be the C-17. So if the crew of this British C-17 is watching the stream later on, hopefully they're not watching the stream right now, but if they're watching the stream in the replay, shoot me an email. I'll send you a reverse ops tea mug. Okay, so the UPS Queen is on the move. So let's flip over here and we'll wait for it to zip through the trees. So if you watch this plane as it goes through the trees, you'll get a preview of a yet to be released T-shirt idea for the reverse op shop. Alright, so the C-17 is almost to the end of taxiway. Well, it's Romeo Bravo or Juliet, depending on what map you look at. I like calling it Romeo Bravo because it sounds cooler. Oh! Well, thanks for stopping by. We found the channel very easily, that's good. Alright, so we also have, we saw that earlier in the show we had a UPS 767 come in from Lanai. No, sorry, not Lanai, Lihue, sorry. It's actually headed out now. It'll be the, let's say it'll be the second for departure after the C-17. It's headed off to San Bernardino. Alright, so the C-17 is on the move, and these get up very quickly, so we're going to have to do a wide shot to begin with, because who knows where it's going to be in the air. Yep. Just when the wind picks up. Next arrival is a 321 coming in from Salt Lake City. This is Hawaiian Flight 1 coming in from LAX. So if you're wondering why Hawaiian Flight 1 uses Hawaii as the destination and not the departure site, it's because of the direction of travel. Odd numbers westbound, even numbers eastbound. Okay, so I think I've made a decision. We're not gonna stay for the Korean. Unfortunately, there's not a lot between the Korean and the next flight in. Koreans over an hour away. There is a Delta that's 34 minutes away, so that'll probably be our last flight of the day. There's a bunch over Kauai right now. The couple more Japan Airlines, and then the Asiana, the Philippine, and then that Delta coming in from Tokyo. They're all kind of bunched together. So we'll stay for that group of planes, and then we'll get out of here. Mrs. Reverse Ops. Mrs. Reverse Ops enjoys tea, but she's not. It's not a life thing, like some of the other countries. It's not a necessity. Me, on the other hand, I don't like tea or coffee. The smell of coffee just, I hate it. Can't handle it. It's the worst aisle in the grocery store, is the coffee aisle. Mrs. Reverse Ops is always trying to get me to switch from caffeinated drinks to coffee, and I just cannot do it. I need my caffeine, but I will not drink a coffee. I have eliminated all the energy drinks that contain taurine. I'll still drink. There's a couple that only have extra caffeine in them. I'll drink those. Like Mountain Dew has one called Kickstart, that all they do is jack up the caffeine in it. They don't add any of those weird Red Bull flavors like taurine and guavine and all those crazy chemicals. So I try to stay away from all the ones with taurine in them. Just go with the extra caffeine. That Delta, I don't know where he's going. He just made a sharp left turn over the island of Kauai. I don't know where he's going. So we've got another, even though that Delta's pretty close, we have another 10 or 15 arrivals right in front of it. So we got a lot of planes coming in the next 20 minutes, half an hour. So don't go anywhere. This is Hawaiian coming in from Tokyo. Thanks, Air Tiki. Hopefully, it's feeling a little better now. I've been moving it, standing on the other leg, so it's feeling a little better. So hopefully, I won't have to go on the disabled list. The big thing here are those bubble drinks. They got. I'm sure they have them where you are. Those are really popular here. It's just, I don't know. It's a very weird sensation, those bubble things. If you don't know what I'm talking about, just Google search boba tea, I think it is, or boba drink. I was in LA last year, and what is going on here? The bicyclists in front of us are causing all kinds of havoc. So we were, so I was in LA last year, and me and a friend of mine were going to a record store downtown. And we parked the car and started walking, and about a half a block from the car, there's a line of people. And it kept going to the end of the block, and then it turned, went all the way to the next block, turned again, went all the way to the next half block, and then there was the store where everybody was lined up to get into. So there must have been, there had to be 1,000 people in line for this place. And we thought it was some celebrity signing or, you know, something crazy, something that we were missing out by not being in line. And it turned out we got to the end and it was a bubble drink place, a boba drink place, and thousands of people lined up to get a drink. This is Japan Airlines 784. It's coming in from Tokyo. It's a 7-6. So usually we get 4 Japan Airlines flights a day. 3 of them are Dreamliners, and 1 of them is a 7-6. Oh, did you hear that? Ooh, that was a yawn. I don't know why I'm. Oh, yeah, probably because I'm talking about caffeine and haven't had any caffeine yet today. That's one of the downsides of the live stream thing, because I'm out here and there's no bathrooms. There used to be a porta potty at a Uber lot behind me. They took that away. So you kind of gotta balance hydration the need to go to the little boys' room. So I gotta skip the caffeine because the caffeine makes me go to the little boys' room very quickly. Now, usually I can do one of these shows. Is usually not a problem. When the show starts to be 5 and 6 hours, then I start dancing around a little bit. See, usually those longer shows, Mrs. Reverse Ops is here. She brings her own truck. And as soon as the show ends, I jump in her truck and go to the bathroom. And then while she watches the camera gear. So that's probably way too much information that you guys needed to know. Someone should have cut me off a long time ago on that topic. So we have mods for the chat. I need to have one of my mods standing next to me to tell me when to shut up. Alright, so this Hawaiian's coming in from Maui. We're about to get a departure on the reef runway. It's a 330 heading off to LAX. So we'll hold on this one just for a second till that 330 starts to move. I've thought about all the different contraptions they say, and the probably too much information. I know, sorry, but I've settled on to just make the stream as long as I can. Make the stream as long as I can without peeing myself. So if I ever end the stream very quickly, you probably know why I end the stream very quickly. It's a good thing I don't have a behind-the-scenes camera like some of the streamers. Because I did a 7-hour stream or 7.5-hour stream a couple weeks ago, and I was doing the I gotta go dance for the last half hour of that one. Thank you, Rainbow Love. I will take your advice. I use my wife's truck to go, not the other way around. Oh, see here, I was talking about this earlier. This is what I need to do the live stream from. I need one of these. There, I just lift the back up, have the little balcony there to do the live stream from. I can put a couch in the back. We could have members parties in it, and you guys can come and hang out in the back of the truck while we do the live stream. Yeah, this is Japan Airlines coming in from Nagoya. It's a Dreamliner, if you couldn't tell by the wings. So we're just coming up on 10 o'clock a.m. Hawaii time. This is Bathroom Talk with Patrick and Reverse Ops. I know some of the younger streamers are petitioning to have a plane spotting pavilion put out here. So hopefully that really works out. I don't know where they're going to get the funding for that, but that would be awesome. We do have a pretty good spot down in the Lagoon Drive parking lot. That's pretty nice down there, if you ever make it out here. You got 3 Pualanis and an ANA in one shot. That's nice. Hello, Nick. Good to see you. Hi, so we have a FedEx 777 now working its way out to the reef runway. We also have that ANA, our third ANA of the day. Unfortunately, this one is a well, I guess not unfortunately. I like this plane a lot. This is the Dreamliner. It's coming in from Tokyo as well. So it looks like that Delta plane that I called as the last plane is now 10 minutes out or so. So we'll got about 10 minutes left in the show, and a few more arrivals. That would be awesome, Steven. Unfortunately, I would have to leave it here permanently. We don't have all of our street lights here go up over the road, so you couldn't drive it anywhere because you'd hit all the street light or the stop lights. They have double-decker. They have double-decker tour buses in Waikiki that you can ride around and do tours, but they have to follow very specific paths through town that they can drive through without hitting the stoplights. So through Waikiki and most of Waikiki area, the stoplights are on the side of the road on a pole. Most of the rest of the place, it's like everywhere else. The stoplight comes up over the road. So they do have some double deckers here, but they have to follow very specific paths to do their tours. So, Jet, yeah, it's not the same one that was on Jet Tip this morning. I don't know what. Yeah, the next one's in is Southwest coming in from San Jose. That FedEx is on 8 right, about to go. Yeah, all the double-decker tour buses here are they're open air on the top. So they have a canvas top. Well, I don't know if all of them do. Most of them do. The ones I've seen have a canvas top and open sides. So if you're on the top, you get a really good unobstructed view everywhere, as long as it doesn't rain. So that FedEx is heading off to Sydney. The next arrival is the Asiana 777. There's something, I don't know what that is. There's something out on the reef runway with no picture. And it's showing up on flight radar, but it's not telling me what it is. It's heading off to Lehui, so I would assume it's one of those PC-12s, but usually they show up. There's a used car lot in town in Honolulu, selling one of those. It's an old Delta branded truck, the scissor lift back end truck. But it looks like the rust is the only thing keeping it together. So we're gonna flip over here for a second. I'm curious of what this is. So it is just before that. I still don't. Ah, there it is. Ah, it's a Transair. So it's one of the flying bread boxes. The next one is Philippine Airlines. It's coming in from Manila. It's an A330. pull off this for just a second. Show you that Asiana now it's finally turned. Very curious what's going to happen with the Asiana and Korean flights once that merger, if it ever goes through. As we get currently we get one Asiana 777, and then we'll get a Korean Air 777 right now. Sometimes it's a 747. Alright, next arrival is a Qantas. It's a 330 today. And after that's the Delta that we've been talking about. So we'll follow the Philippine till the Qantas gets a little closer. So if you haven't subscribed to the channel, we're getting very close to all eights, 8888. I think we're still about a little less than 100 away from that. So we're going to try to get as close as we can to 8888, that lucky number. I'd appreciate it if you could hit that subscribe button right now. There's the Navy fire truck doing its rounds for the day. This is the Delta that's coming in from Tokyo. This will be our last flight of the day. Thank you everyone for being here. Thanks for tuning in. It was a weird week, but we had a opportunity to grab a third stream, and I'm glad it worked out. This is only our third or fourth time doing 3 streams in a week, so thanks all for being here. It was a lot of fun. If you haven't had a chance to, could you like the video on the way out? Hit that subscribe button. You'll know the next time I go live. That'll be Saturday morning. We'll do the full show Saturday morning all the way through the second A380 departure. And then the week after that, we do a couple of jetaway streams. We're going to jet away to LAX. With the possibility of a third LAX stream the next weekend. I haven't figured out if I'll be able to do one on the weekend we come back. We'll figure that out. But I'll be sure to let everyone know on the community page or my Instagram. My Instagram is also reverse ops. So I was going to give a quick shout out to all. I didn't hear a final. I'll have to work on them for the mod name. I saw the Hawaii 7-0. Doesn't really roll off the tongue, but we'll keep having them brainstorm. We'll come up with a name. So, Brad, Kirsten, Ms. Wolves, Rainbow Love, Sydney, Josh, and Lady Cat. I think they were all here today. So thank you very much. But gonna roll a quick little video to thank all my upper level channel members. If you'd like to become a member, there's a join button underneath the video. I think on iOS phones you have to open the video in Safari to see that button, but this really does help keep the channel in the black. We also, if you don't see your name in this one, if you are a member and you don't see this, I update this when I create the Friday streams. So if you don't see your name here, it'll be definitely in for the Saturday show, so keep an eye out. We also have, don't forget about that $5 off t-shirt promo. Just use spam at checkout. Again, we'll see y'all on Saturday. All right, we'll see y'all on Saturday. Have a safe rest of your week. Aloha.